My channel. If you have not liked and subscribe the channel, please like and subscribe the channel. This is the place where you can learn Microsoft Intune. In this video, I am going to say you how you can block or allow or prevent the app installation from any unknown sources in your Android personal work profile section. This is very important, right? To protect your data or applications to get exposed outside your work profile. So if you are managing your Android devices through Microsoft Intune, you must protect the data so that it should not be exposed outside the container. So as you know, by default, the Android operating system might allow the app installation from unknown sources in the personal profile, right? Not in the work profile section. It is not normally allowed, but the by default it is allowed. How it is allowed? So if you go to your Android phone settings and about and on your build version, if you tap 7 times, your developer options would get enabled, and you can, once you enable the developer option, then you can also turn on the unknown sources. I have already made video. I'll put the video link in the description so that you can watch and know how to enable the developer options on your Android devices and turn on the unknown sources. But by default, OS is actually Android OS might allow the app installation from the unknown sources in the personal profile. So then you may have questions why you want to show this video, why you making this video to block the unknown sources in the work profile section. Because in the personal side, we don't want to confuse between personal and work side. If you're managing Android BOID devices, or as a company owned devices, like any of these four profile, Kobo, Coop, or company owned work profile or personally owned work profile, any of these four methods, you must ensure that users cannot install the application from any other source other than the Google Play Store, which is actually genuine, or even it's in the personal profile, right? So by design, actually, if you I'll just refer this one because most of the companies are managing their Android devices, especially BOID devices, personally owned devices, through this method, personally owned devices with work profile. So if you using this method, personally enrollment with work profile between work and personal, then I will show you in this video how you can block the app installation. Okay, so by design, Android Enterprise personally owned devices with work profile cannot install apps from any other sources other than the Play Store. This is clear for you, and these settings will allow administrator, being as an Intune administrator, have more control of app installation from unknown sources, which will block the prevent app installation from other unknown sources other than the Play Store in the personal profile. So how you can do that? So we have to go to the devices, since we are talking about Android. So we'll go to the configurations, and if you create a new policies, you have to select the Android enterprise, yeah, and you have to select, you see there is a two, one is personal, this is for BYD, and this is for the fully managed devices if you are managing your Android devices. In both the section you see the device restrictions and device restriction. So first I will go through the personally owned work profile. This is for BYD, where actually you can see the complete separation between work and personal. So, and then I will also show you for fully managed corporate dedicated on work profile. So what you have to do, you see the device restriction in both the sections. So I will first click on device restrictions, click, and we'll put block app installation. You can give any name, block app installation on Android BYD devices. You can give any name, and here you have to go to system security. You don't have to touch any. If you already have the existing device restrictions policy, you can apply in the, you can modify in the same restrictions policy. If not, then just simply go to the system security, don't touch anything. And you see here, prevent app installation from unknown sources in the personal profile. So currently by default it's not configured. So as I mentioned, you want to block. Why you want to block? Because we don't want users, even the device, the user device is a personal devices, but we are allowing corporate access on the BYD devices, and the data is completely separated in the work section. Then why you want to block the app installation in the personal profile? Because we want to make sure the user cannot even download the any apps other than the Google Play Store. So we are not blocking the Google Play Store for them. They can search any application, download it. But if they want to sideload any APK file and install it, which is actually untrusted, then that application we want to block it, right? So especially if somebody has a developer and they normally test many, they're building applications for, I mean, for Android devices, then of course you can't block this, because otherwise they will not able to sideload the APK file and run it, install it on even though on the personal side. So, but in most the cases we should be blocking this one, but based on your requirement or your cyber team policies, right, or rules, you can prevent app installation from unknown sources. So as soon as you click on block, the user will not able to install or sideload any of the APK file and run it, install it in even in their personal profile. So this is how you can block it, and you can apply to all the devices. This is for BYD. Okay, so I have given a BYD. Now similar, if you are managing your Android devices as a fully managed corporate dedicated, similar way you have to go to the device restrictions and will give block. No, I'll block allow app installation from unknown sources. Okay, why we have given allow, I will show you. Because it's a fully managed devices, right? We have enrolled through other than the Play Store, whatever we have published from the Intune, user can only see the devices, only can see the applications. So other than the approved application, they cannot even see, because it's a fully managed corporate owned devices. So here where you have to go to the application without touching anything. If you already have the device restrictions policy, you can modify the same policy as I mentioned. So you see here the same policy here, allow installation from unknown sources. So here you can't see even block, right? Why you can't see block? Because in the previous restrictions policy which we created for the BOID work profile, where actually the unknown sources by default is allowed by the OS in the personal section. Here it's by default it's block because it's a fully company owned devices. So you want to allow or not configure. You want to allow the installation from unknown sources so that users can, like especially for developers, they want to test something on the corporate fully managed corporate owned devices. You should allow app installation so that they can sideload the APK file and run it and test it on their even fully managed devices. So based on your choice, you can configure and not configure, but by default it's block on these fully managed devices, not the personal on devices. And other thing I also want to show, allow access to all app in Google Play Store. So what does mean? So when you select allow, if you see there is allow and block. So if you want to allow the access of all apps in Google Play Store or just approved application. So if you select block, by default it's not configured, but if you select block, what will happen? So block means the if you select block, then user will not able to download any other applications, like any other application which is not approved or not published by the Intune admin, right? So user will not even see the application like WhatsApp, Facebook and other application. Whatever application being as a Intune admin which published or deployed through the Microsoft Intune portal to these corporate owned fully managed dedicated devices like Kobo, Cope, those applications can be available into their managed Google Play Store, right? Because it's a fully managed devices. So if you want to allow, right? So what will happen if you allow these users will able to install any application from Google Play Store. So if you select allow, users can search and download on any application like Facebook or WhatsApp. And if you have deployed as a allow and user has downloaded some of the application and later you have changed the selection from allow to block or not configure, then all application will get removed from the devices except the app you have listed is available or required. So make sure, but since this is a corporate owned devices, we don't want to allow all the users Android users to access or download any other application, but based on your choice and requirement you can allow and block. I would prefer to block this one, and this one is also because it's fully managed devices. Select next, all devices, apply, create. So this is how you can block and allow. You see, this is for the fully managed devices and this is for the BOID devices. And these settings actually allow the settings which I have just shown you to allow the Intune administrator to control to have the more control of app installation from unknown sources, right? So when you set to not configure, right, by default it's not configure, so Intune does not change or update these settings. By nature actually the personally owned devices with work profile are intended to be dual profile, right? So the personally owned devices with work profile managed via MDM and the personal profile that isolated from the MDM management. So based on your requirement you can allow and block. This is what I am going to show you, and you have you have just learned how you can protect your data, and because it's always good to have to protect the data and block installation of any unknown sources, especially on Android devices because it's open source operating system. I hope you learned something new. Till then, thank you, have a good day, and don't forget to like and subscribe the channel. Bye bye, take care.